So, have you received your April payslip and you're thinking, I'm sure I should have actually collected more money? Most of the time when we receive our payslips, we don't understand the money. We just need to get the money. We don't understand how it's being calculated. So in today's video, I'd like to talk about how to actually decode your payslip, how to understand if you're paying too much. I hope you enjoy it. But before we go on, my name is Ola Slimon. I'm the tax girl. So before I start explaining your payslip, I'd like to share a story of my client with you. So she called me and she said, I'm sure I'm paying too much tax. I've heard this all the time. We all feel we pay too much tax all the time because, I don't know, I feel like that at times too. However, I usually just say at first, what's your tax code? And if you tell me the right tax code, I'll be like, you're paying the right amount of tax. End of story. But she kept on, she's saying, I'm sure I'm not paying the right tax. I'm sure they're taxing me too much. So just to give her a bit of assurance, I was like, okay, send me your payslip. Let me have a look. She sent the payslip and I still didn't open it because I was so sure that she was paying the right amount of tax. Apologies. And then finally, I opened the payslip. I had a look and I was like, that doesn't look right. The right tax code was on this payslip. However, she was still paying a lot of tax. So I had to say, excuse me, you need to call HMRC and talk to them. There's something wrong about this. So this video is very important. The thing about payslip and pay and taxes that we pay if you're employed is the HMRC will send the tax code to your employer. Your employer probably is not even doing it themselves. They've got payroll company. They just pass this information to them. So because of that, it's the tax code that is put in first that will actually determine how much you pay. So this will be in United Kingdom, everyone is entitled to a free tax amount every year. For this year, it's 12,500. Now, this 12,500 now is divided by 12 because they assume you're going to be employed in that same employment for the remaining of the year. So for every month you have a bit of free tax amount every year. For tax year 2021 is 1250L. So your first homework, check your tax code. Is it 1250L? If it's 1250L, like I said to that girl, yeah, you're on the right path, 99%. I used to do 100, but 99% now. However, if it's more than 1250L, you're doing something well. That means you're claiming a tax relief, probably your uniform expenses, your subscription. Maybe you're giving to charity, you did the last year, and then they've adjusted it automatically this year. If it is lower, it means that probably you have some tax benefit. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You have some tax benefit that you're receiving from your company, or you're owing HMRC from previous years, or they've divided your tax code amongst two employments, which is possible. So if it's lower, don't just assume that they're right. You still need to actually understand why it's so. At the beginning of every tax year, they send us a letter saying which is which, so that we know what they've actually done in the tax code. So if you've missed this, you still have the right to call them and say, excuse me, can you please explain what is in my tax code? This is very, very important. At times, they send the adjusted tax code to your employer, and they don't bother to even change it. It's possible. So at the end of the day, is it that you're paying too much tax or you're paying too little? So the second thing you need to be aware about is your national insurance. There are two types of national insurance, the employer's one and the employee's one. If your weekly earning is more than £120 weekly, 12% of the excess will be deducted for your national insurance. I usually say national insurance is not tax. It's savings for future. Your employer as well would also pay into your national insurance pot. However, if you receive monthly payments, if your payment is over £520, then you will pay 12%. And if your yearly paid is 6,240, this was changed this year. Now, the main one you need to be aware about with your national insurance is the national insurance code. Your code should actually be A if you don't have any other reason why it shouldn't be. If you are a widow and married, your code might be B. If you are over the state pension age, your code will be C. If you've deferred your national insurance because you've got another job somewhere and you've arranged with HMRC, it will be J. There are other codes as well. So if yours is not A and you don't have any other reason why it should be A, you should contact HMRC as well. Another deduction that might be taken out of your payslip is your pensions deduction. Since the inception of auto enrollment some years ago, your employer actually have the duty to deduct your pensions. They have to actually automatically enroll you. You have the option of saying, I don't want the pension, then you opt out within a certain time. However, if you opt out, you're losing out somehow because you pay some money in the pension purse and your employer does and the government does, and then you still get some tax relief with the pension. So even though it looks as if it's a lot of money that is being taken out now, it's all for future. So how is this calculated? The pension that goes over, the amount that you receive that goes over the qualifying earning amounts would be what will be calculated for you. This is what I'm trying to say. So the qualifying earning for 2020-21 is 6,240. So for that 6,240 will be divided, if you're weekly paid, it will be divided by 52 weeks. If you're monthly paid, divided by 12 months. Every 4 weeks they'll divide it. And any amount that goes over this threshold would be what the pension will be calculated. Another deduction that can be taken off your payslip is student loan. If you've ever received student loan, probably when you're in university or a postgraduate loan, as soon as you earn over a certain amount, this will be deducted automatically. Your employer will be notified to deduct this while they're running the payroll. It even depends on the type of loan that you've got, probably the plan A or plan B, and this. Basically what I'm saying in this video is, if it doesn't look right, like that client I told you about, then you should make noise about it, ask for help, show someone. Because usually if your tax code, let's go back to tax code again, if it's, let's even assume you don't have tax code and you earn within the first band of tax, your tax should actually be 20% of whatever you earn. So let's say you earn over the 50,000, then you're 40%. So with the tax code, then it should be lower then. That's what I'm trying to say. So if it doesn't look real, ask a question, ask for second opinion. You might definitely be right. Because at the end of the day, we pay payslip and payroll, because there's an human factor in the processing of what tax you pay. It's possible for there to be an error there. I hope today's video has been helpful. And next week, I'll post another one. Thank you very much. My name is